They're coming, fast, silent, and burning. But this isn't just a meteor shower, and you know that. You didn't click this by accident. The sky's about to split open, briefly, powerfully, and most people won't even look up. They'll sleep, they'll scroll, they'll ignore the one moment that could have shown them everything. You won't, because something inside you is already stirring. That restless hum in your chest, the weird dreams, the feeling that something's off but you can't explain why? That's not random, that's resonance. The universe is reaching out in fire, and it's doing it now. The Lyrid Meteor Shower doesn't ask for permission. It tears through calm skies like a cosmic scream disguised as beauty. But it's not here to entertain you. It's here to expose something. The part of you that's been waiting, wishing, holding on, too scared to speak your truth out loud. This is your moment. But make no mistake, this window doesn't stay open long. The meteors will fall, then they'll vanish. And if you miss them, you'll feel it later. Not as regret, as disconnection, as a version of yourself that could have been, but never got claimed. So before we go deeper, stop what you're doing, like this video. Subscribe right now. Drop 77 in the comments to show you're awake. To help spread this message before the sky goes quiet again. Because someone you love might need to see this too. And they won't, unless you share it. Now listen carefully, the sky is whispering again. And this time, it's not asking questions. It's delivering answers. In fire, in silence, in streaks of light that carry your name. April 21st and 22nd aren't just dates, they're a countdown. And when time runs out, what you've hidden will either rise or break. Let's begin, but not with facts, with memory, not yours exactly. Something older, something buried in the bones of time. Because what's coming isn't new, it's ancient. And it remembers you. The Lyrid Meteor Shower isn't just light, it's legacy. These aren't sparks from nowhere. They're pieces of a comet that's been circling our sun for over 400 years. A trail of dust left behind by something that only comes close once in a lifetime. But those fragments, they return every April, without fail, like a message left on repeat for those who are still paying attention. The first people to witness the Lyrids recorded them in 687 BCE, before borders, before cities, before the world made us forget the sky was sacred. Back then, they looked up and felt it in their blood. That this wasn't just a show, this was a sign, a rupture in the veil, a sacred alignment of earth, soul, and something unfathomably beyond. And here you are again, under the same sky, hearing the same call. Don't mistake these meteors for shooting stars. Don't wrap them in wishes you don't mean. These are messengers. They've traveled centuries to be here. They've burned themselves just to be seen, just to pierce the illusion of this world for a few seconds and remind you of something you've forgotten. You are part of a bigger story, not the story you perform, the one you feel when the world goes quiet, the one that started long before you had words. You see, the Lyrids don't come for applause. They come to awaken, to shake the still parts of you that accepted sleep instead of truth. They fall not to entertain, but to echo. And what they echo is powerful. The grief you've swallowed, the strength you forgot, the magic you once believed in, before the world convinced you to grow up and shut down. When you look up on April 21st and 22nd, don't just see light, see lineage, see fire that remembers you, the you who stood barefoot in the dark once and knew the sky was alive, the you who still listens for signs, the you who's been waiting for a moment that feels like more than survival. Because this is that moment. These falling stars are not random. They are ritual. They are the sky reminding you that time is not linear. It loops, and every loop gives you another chance to remember. Not who the world told you to be, but who you were before fear rewrote you. So when they fall, let your silence be sacred. Let your heart burn with them. And if something inside you begins to ache, don't pull away. That ache is memory, and it's older than fear. The Lyrids are not just falling, they are returning. And not just to be seen, but to open something. Because what happens on April 21st and 22nd isn't coincidence. It's cosmic choreography, precision written into the stars. The Lyrids fall at the exact moment the veil between worlds thins, not by chance, but by design. These aren't just meteor trails, they're threads being pulled across timelines. And when they pull just right, something gives, something parts. And for a brief moment, a portal opens. Between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m., the sky becomes more than sky. It becomes a chamber, a doorway, a threshold. Not everyone will feel it, but you will. You'll feel the difference in the air, in your chest. That subtle shift, like something invisible is leaning in, waiting to hear what you'll say, or maybe what you've been too afraid to say. This window doesn't last long. 2 hours, 2 nights. That's all. And yet inside that narrow sliver of time, something vast becomes available. The rules soften, the noise dims, and your soul, unfiltered and untethered, gets to speak. No distractions, no masks, just you and the truth, and a sky that's listening. You've heard people talk about manifestation, you've heard about portals, but this is different. This is personal. The Lyrids don't ask what you want, they ask what's real. They don't deliver dreams, they activate decisions. They don't wait for you to be ready, they reveal whether you are or not. So when the clock hits 3 a.m. and the world around you is sleeping, that's when you step outside. That's when you look up, not as a stargazer, as a witness, as someone who knows this isn't just beauty, it's ceremony, a private meeting between your desire and the divine. And if you feel emotional, raw, cracked open, good. That means you're here. That means you're tuned in. You're not meant to be perfect in this moment. You're meant to be present. Because this is when the shift begins. Not outside of you, but within. The meteors will fall like fire, but what they ignite is quieter, internal, subtle, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. You'll blink and think it was just another night. But those who feel instead of watch will know. Something changed, and what's more, this portal doesn't just open for show, it opens for a reason. Something wants to meet you, and it's not in the future, it's here. Now on the edge of sleep, in the hour of the soul, under a sky alive with fire, memory, and meaning. Don't just witness this alignment, claim it. Prepare for it like you would a ceremony. Breathe slower, speak softer, listen deeper. Because when this veil lifts, your excuses won't come with you. Only your truth will. And that's exactly what this sky came for. The veil doesn't lift just to show you beauty. It lifts to ask you a question, and not with words, but with wonder. Now that the portal is open, the sky is listening, really listening, and that changes everything. Because when the Lyrids fall, they don't fall randomly. They fall like messengers, burning themselves into nothing just to carry your truth to somewhere you can't yet reach. Each one is a courier, each one a vessel. Not for what you say you want, but for what your soul is screaming for when everything else goes quiet. This is not the night to make pretty wishes. This is not the time to speak softly. This is where honesty becomes your spell. And honesty doesn't always sound poetic. It sounds raw. It sounds risky. It sounds like the thing you've never dared to ask for out loud. Wishes tonight are not fantasy. They're blueprints. The sky doesn't deal in maybe. It responds to clarity, to boldness, to the kind of desire that makes your voice shake when you say it. That's what gets carried. That's what lands. So don't sit under this sky and ask for what sounds safe. Don't waste this fire on comfort. Ask for the thing that feels too big, too wild, too honest. The love that actually sees you. The life that actually fits you. The peace you've convinced yourself you're not allowed to have. Write it down. Whisper it. Scream it into the dark if you have to. There's no judgment here. Only a sky that's ready to hold it. Because tonight, the stars aren't just watching. They're receiving. They're archiving your intentions in flame and silence. And you don't need candles or crystals or perfect words. You need truth. You need feeling. You need to want it so much it hurts a little. If it scares you to ask for it, good. That's how you know it's real. This moment isn't about scripting the future, it's about unlocking it. And once you do, once you speak the thing that's been buried under maybes and what ifs, and I'm not ready, something shifts, something begins. And once it does, you can't go back. So speak, feel, declare. Let the meteors carry it beyond what logic can reach. Let the stars hear you clearly, because what you say now echoes, and this sky doesn't forget. Not everything that passes through the sky is meant to be captured. You've spoken your truth. You've sent it up. Now comes the harder part, being still enough to receive what's coming back. And that doesn't happen when you're filming. It doesn't happen when you're thinking about captions or angles or who'll see your story. It happens when you stop performing and start witnessing. There's a difference between watching and witnessing. Watching is passive, distant. It lets the moment slide by while your mind is somewhere else. But witnessing changes you. Witnessing invites something in. Witnessing is presence in its purest form, the kind that doesn't need explanation or evidence. The sky doesn't need to prove itself to you. It's already doing more than enough. The real question is, are you doing enough to meet it? Because the meteors will fall, whether you notice or not. The portal will open, whether you're ready or not. The truth will crack through the night, whether you're paying attention or scrolling past it. This isn't entertainment, it's ceremony, sacred, silent, demanding nothing but your attention and rewarding it with something deeper than you can name. So when the time comes, when that window between 3 and 5 a.m. arrives, strip it all away. No music, no selfies, no filters, just you and the sky, no small talk, no expectations, just breath and the wild pulse of something ancient returning through light and silence. Because if you're truly present, something happens. It might be quiet, it might not make sense right away, but something shifts. The sky gets inside you, not just through your eyes, but through your bones. And something you've been carrying starts to soften, starts to move. This isn't about seeing something beautiful. This is about becoming still enough to let something beautiful see you. So don't just watch, witness. Because when the night is over and the world forgets, the ones who witnessed will remember. Not in memory, but in vibration, in alignment, in that unshakable knowing that for a few rare moments, they were there. And they were awake. Awake enough to feel what most will miss. Awake enough to sense that this isn't just light falling, it's something surrendering, giving itself up for a split second of brilliance. Because every meteor you see isn't just a moment, it's a sacrifice. That streak across the sky, that's a piece of ancient debris, something that's traveled for centuries, maybe longer, choosing to burn itself alive. Not to last, not to linger, but to be seen, fully, completely. For one raw, blazing second. Sound familiar? It should, because maybe that's what you've been doing, holding yourself together while everything inside you wants to ignite, walking through the world quietly burning, hoping someone notices the light before it's gone. And maybe you're tired, maybe you're exhausted from dimming, shrinking, shape-shifting, just to be palatable, just to fit. But the Lyrids don't fit. They don't wait. They don't apologize for their fire. They become it. And so can you. These meteors remind us that sometimes visibility costs something. Sometimes, in order to be truly seen, something has to be released. An old version of you, a false identity, a story you've outgrown but keep telling because it makes others comfortable. And isn't that what transformation is? Not the neat, tidy kind, the kind that scorches, the kind that doesn't ask for permission, the kind that burns not to destroy, but to reveal. What are you ready to let burn? The silence you've kept, the dream you've buried, the fear you've fed. What inside of you is finally brave enough to become fire? Because every falling star is a reminder that even the smallest spark, when released with full honesty, can leave a mark on the dark. You don't have to last forever to make an impact. You don't have to be perfect to be remembered. You just have to burn true. So as the sky ignites, ask yourself this: what am I still carrying that no longer belongs to me? What weight do I need to surrender so that I can rise brighter, even if it means falling for a moment? This is the sacred contract of the Lyrids. They fall so we can rise. They burn so we remember that visibility requires vulnerability. They vanish, but they leave something behind. Not in the sky, in you. So let the fire rise. Let the version of you that's been waiting, finally step forward. Let what needs to fall, fall. And trust that whatever remains will be made of truth. Because the ones who dare to burn are the ones who are finally undeniably seen. And the stars are watching, not to judge, not to measure your strength, but to hold space for the breaking, for the softening, for the part of you that doesn't need to be fixed, only felt. Because this is what healing looks like. Not therapy, not journaling, not always. Sometimes it's just you, standing under a sky so vast it makes your pain feel small enough to breathe through. Sometimes it's sitting in the dark, in silence, letting the tears come without needing to explain them. Sometimes it's letting the weight fall, not because you found the solution, but because you finally let yourself admit how heavy it's been. This meteor shower isn't just light, it's permission. It doesn't ask you to be okay. It doesn't require progress. It offers presence, it offers reflection, and in that reflection, all the parts you've been hiding come up. The shame, the grief, the questions with no answers. They rise, not to punish you, but to be witnessed. Because maybe that's all they ever needed. The Lyrids tear through the night without hesitation. They fall without fear of being seen in their final form. That's not weakness, that's release. And maybe you've been holding on for too long, trying to be strong, trying to hold it together while your soul is quietly begging for space to fall apart. You're allowed to let go now. You're allowed to sit under this sky and feel everything you've kept buried. The heartbreaks you minimized, the moments you never processed because life kept moving too fast, the quiet anger, the unspoken fears, the ache you can't name. All of it is sacred tonight. And if your chest tightens, if your throat closes, if your eyes blur while the meteors streak overhead, good. That means the energy is moving. That means you're not numb anymore. That means you're in it. Healing isn't always pretty. It's rarely convenient. Sometimes it looks like sitting outside in the cold, wrapped in a blanket of silence, while the sky does what no one else could, understand you without words. And if you find yourself remembering things you thought you'd forgotten, or suddenly feeling grief you thought you'd buried, let it come. Let the meteors carry it. Let each flash across the sky be a release valve for the pressure you didn't even realize was building. You're not broken. You're breaking open. And this opening, it's where the light gets in, not from outside, but from within. The kind of light that only appears when everything false has been stripped away. The kind that rises from truth, from presence, from pain that finally got permission to be felt all the way through. So don't hold back tonight. Let yourself unravel under this sacred sky. Because sometimes healing sounds like silence and looks exactly like this. And when you finally allow that silence to hold you, to soften you, you'll notice something else. Something subtle, but undeniable. The energy begins to move, not in big flashy ways, not with lightning bolts or signs screaming across the sky, but in the small shifts, the slowing of your breath, the warmth in your chest, the sudden knowing that you don't need to do anything grand to be part of the magic, because you already are. This is where soft rituals create loud results. Tonight isn't about spectacle. It's not about elaborate setups or proving how spiritual you are. It's about presence. It's about offering something simple, honest, and raw to the sky, and trusting that it's enough. Light one candle, just one. Let it flicker while you sit under the stars, letting the flame mirror the spark returning to you. You don't need a chant. You don't need a spell book. Just one breath, one wish, one truth that's ready to be spoken out loud for the first time. Lie down under the sky. No music, no plans. Let your eyes stay open until they blur, until the stars stop being something distant and start feeling like they're inside you. Feel the earth beneath your body. Feel how supported you really are, how held you are by something so much bigger than your circumstances. And breathe. Let every inhale pull in peace. Let every exhale release something that's no longer yours. It doesn't have to be poetic. It just has to be real. This isn't a night to try hard. In fact, the harder you try, the less you'll feel. Magic doesn't respond to force. It responds to sincerity. The kind that whispers, "I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here." The kind that opens without needing to be told what will come next. And if all you do is sit still, that's enough. Stillness is the most powerful spell you can cast tonight. In a world addicted to movement, your quiet presence under a falling sky is a rebellion. It says, "I'm not chasing, I'm receiving." It says, "I'm not forcing, I'm aligning." And the universe hears that, loud and clear. So don't let your mind overcomplicate it. Keep it soft, keep it sacred. Whisper into the wind, watch the flame dance. Let a meteor carry what words never could. The sky is already doing its part. All you have to do now is be still enough to feel it. But know this, stillness doesn't mean delay. The sky may wait for you to quiet down, but it won't wait forever. The Lyrids don't repeat themselves. What's coming isn't a recycled lesson or a gentle reminder. It's a moment, singular, uncopyable, and it's arriving right on time, whether you're ready or not. If you miss it, if you talk yourself out of it, if you decide to scroll instead of look up, You won't get this version of the message again. It won't come back the same way. The sky isn't interested in convincing you. It doesn't beg for your attention. It offers the chance, just once, to align with something that might shift the way you move through the world. And then, it moves on. You're not being warned, you're being invited. The meteors will fall, the veil will thin, and for a handful of hours, the air itself will feel different, charged, ancient, intentional. If you're present, if you truly show up for it, you might catch something that no camera can capture. Not light, not a wish, something inside you, something that's been waiting for the right sky to come alive again. Because this is a turning point, not the loud kind, the quiet kind that happens in the background and doesn't reveal itself until weeks or months later, when you realize that night, something shifted, but only if you were there. Don't underestimate this. The danger isn't in missing a cool sky event. The danger is in telling yourself you'll catch the next one, that there will always be another moment, a better night, a more obvious sign. That kind of thinking, that's how people stay stuck. The Lyrids don't exist to entertain. They exist to awaken, to echo something into your bones that the world made you forget. And if you don't meet it now, if you choose comfort, noise, or distraction, you may not hear this particular message again, because the sky never repeats itself exactly. Not like this. Not with you in this exact place, carrying this exact longing, this exact readiness, under this exact alignment. You are part of this message. You are woven into this timing, and it's not accidental. So when that hour comes, and the world is quiet, and your chest begins to hum with that unnameable feeling, that's your moment. That's the invitation you've been waiting for. Don't ask the sky to wait for you. It won't. And if you feel like this message was written for you, it was. So like this video, subscribe, and drop the number 77 in the comments if you know deep down that this wasn't about information, it was about remembering. Now go outside and listen.